दुखद खबर जो अभी अभी मालूम पड़ी है सर गाफिल सोबर्स के बारे में। देखिए, ऑलराउंडर्स का नाम जब भी आता है सर गाफिल सोबर्स का नाम सबसे अव्वल नंबर पर। उनको मिलने का भी मौका मिला। जितना उनके बारे में हमने सुना, मतलब हम अनलक्की हैं कि उस समय उनको खेलते नहीं देख पाए। लेकिन क्या बढ़िया और क्या बेहतरीन खिलाड़ी में से एक। दुख लगता है कि जब ऐसे लेजेंड्स आपको छोड़कर जाते हैं। मेरी कंडोलेंसेस। मैं यही परमात्मा को दुआ करूंगा कि उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिले, उनकी परिवार को मेरी तरफ से कंडोलेंसेस। और यही कह सकते हैं कि वी लॉस्ट ए ग्रेट मैन टुडे। गॉड ब्लेस सर गाफेल सोबर्स।
दुख की बड़ी बात है कि आज गैरी सोबर जो है हमारे साथ में नहीं है। और मैं यही भगवान से दुआ करता हूं कि उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे। पर ऐसा ऑलराउंडर कभी पैदा हुआ ही नहीं, और ना ही आगे आने वाले समय में पैदा होगा। क्योंकि ऑलराउंडर की अगर परिभाषा जो हम करते हैं एज ए बॉलर, एज ए बैट्समैन और एज ए फील्डर, वो उन शुरुआत उनसे ही शुरू हुई थी। और वो तीनों डिपार्टमेंट और चारों डिपार्टमेंट में ना वो इतने अच्छे बेहतरीन खिलाड़ी थे, तभी उनको दुनिया का सबसे ग्रेटेस्ट ऑलराउंडर माना जाता था। और उनका जो रिकॉर्ड है आप देख लीजिए, चाहे बॉलिंग बैटिंग में देख लिए, फील्डिंग में देख लिए, बहुत ही बेहतरीन है। यही दर्शाता है कि वो इससे बढ़कर कोई ऑलराउंडर नहीं हुआ दुनिया में। देखिए, क्रिकेट का जो दबदबा शुरू हुआ है ये गैरी सोबर के टाइम पे ही शुरू हुआ है। वेस्ट इंडीज ने जब वर्ल्ड की टॉप टीम बनी है, क्योंकि उस समय उनके पास इतने जबरदस्त खिलाड़ी थे, एक से बढ़ के एक था। और और उन्होंने दुनिया में राज किया। जब गैरी सोबर खेलते थे, वेजली हॉल, यहाँ बड़े और भी बड़े बड़े नाम हैं, क्लाइव लॉयड भी उनके साथ खेले। और भी कई ऐसे खिलाड़ी हैं जो कि उनके साथ खेले हैं। पर दबदबा उनका रहा है मेरे ख्याल, जब इंडिया ने टूर किया 72 तक, मेरे ख्याल 15-20 साल उनका दबदबा रहा है। जब सुनील गावस्कर गए थे टूर पे के ऊपर, मेरे को लगता है कि शायद मेरे अगर स्टैक ठीक हो तो उस सीरीज में ही उनका मेरे ख्याल लास्ट मैचेस थे, या उसके बाद उन्होंने खेला या नहीं खेला, कोई इतनी ज्यादा क्रिकेट नहीं खेली। बट तब तक तो उनका बहुत दबदबा था, जिस सीरीज में सुनील गावस्कर ने भी बड़े रन बनाए थे। पर वहां तक तो दबदबा 72 तक तो रहा ही है उनका। पर देखने में उनको अगर क्रिकेट अगर कितने देखनी है तो वो दिखाते थे क्रिकेट क्या है, चीज क्या है। और एलिगेंट प्लेयर, मतलब बॉटिंग, बैटिंग, बॉलिंग और फील्डिंग, मैं समझता हूँ कि इतना बढ़िया एक्शन और इतने बड़े अच्छे शॉट्स जो वो खेल सकते थे कोई भी नहीं खेल सकता था। वन ऑफ द फाइनेस्ट ग्रेटेस्ट ऑलराउंडर एवर प्रोड्यूस इन द वर्ल्ड। यस, ऑल टाइम कोई शक नहीं है इसमें। मेरा तो एक दो बार उनको मिलने का मिलने का मौका भी मिला। मेरे को बिशन सिंह बेदी के घर पे आए थे वो एक बार, गैरी सोबर, सर गैरी सोबर। और तब मेरी भी वहाँ मुलाकात हुई थी उनके साथ। और ये पहले भी मैं जब इंग्लैंड में खेलता था प्रोफेशनल क्रिकेट, तब मेरी एक दो बेनिफिट मैचेस में जो है मेरी मुलाकात उनसे हुई थी। और जो बैटिंग मैंने उनके 40-42 रन बनाए थे, एक हाथ से उससे अभी भी मैं उनका चेहरा देख सकता हूँ। क्योंकि जैसे वो बैटिंग कर रहे थे और जैसे स्माइल कर रहे थे, और शॉट्स जो उन्होंने खेले थे, एक एक शॉट जो है मेरी अभी भी मैं देख सकता हूँ उनको अपने मैं देख सकता हूँ उनको। बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा, माना जाता है और माना जाएगा भी। क्योंकि देखिए, जितना नाम हम डॉन ब्रैडमैन का लेते हैं उससे कम गैरी सोबर का नहीं हम लेते। हम बिल्कुल उनका नाम लेते हैं गैरी सोबर का, डॉन ब्रैडमैन के साथ। क्योंकि उन्होंने उन्होंने अपना इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट, टेस्ट क्रिकेट में बहुत ही ज्यादा जो है परफॉर्मेंस दी है। और जो भी जब भी वो खेलते थे सर गैरी सोबर, तो एक ऐसा लगता था कि वाकई में कोई जो प्लेयर है जो बैटिंग कर रहा है, क्लास कहते हैं ना, कि चाहे वो कवर ड्राइव हो, चाहे हुक शॉट हो, चाहे पुल शॉट हो, उनसे बढ़िया मैंने कभी मारते हुए नहीं देखा किसी को भी। पर डेफिनेटली मैं समझता हूँ कि उनका नाम उतना ही लिया जाता है जितना डॉन ब्रैडमैन का लिया जाता है। और वेस्ट इंडीज की क्रिकेट जो है वो गैरी सोबर के नाम पे ही जानी जाती थी।
Sad day for world cricket. One of the legends of the game, Sir Garfield Sobers, is no more. One of the greatest all-rounders, one of the greatest human beings, and this world has seen the batting, the six sixers. He was a fast bowler who could bowl at good pace, he could bowl spin, and he could win games on his batting as well as fielding. Many of the players really idolized him, and he's no more. I think my condolences to his family. May his soul rest in peace.
Well, I never seen him play, to be honest with you. But I've heard so many stories about him, and I've seen him, of course, his clips and the films. They've been recorded of his batting in 1971 when I think Australia played against the rest of the world, where he scored 254. And I mean, his test records have been amazing. The greatest all-rounder, I would say, the world has ever seen. And it's a very sad day for cricket internationally that Sir Gary is no more with us. Of course, I met him few times after he retired because he used to come to watch matches either in Australia or England. And I met him also in India sometimes. He was a very jovial person, very nice, very humble for what he's achieved. I mean, he was, and about a cricketer, what can I say? He was hugely gifted, but he worked hard at his fitness and at his skills, and he was a very, very big star indeed. And he'll be, I think, his passing away will create a huge void, I would say. May his soul rest in peace. Sir Garfield Sobers, you have been the greatest cricketer we have seen. We have heard also.
You have seen, though you didn't play with him, but as far as you've seen, would you consider him as the greatest ever all-rounder?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you see the records, I think Test match cricket, I think he was a match winner. I think he won so many matches for West Indies, and of course for his county team Nottingham, many matches. And of course, in all the big games, he would deliver. That was his greatness. And he would bowl fast. He would bowl spin. He would bowl Chinaman, and he would bat at any number and clobber the bowling. I mean, he was the greatest. I've heard about him. But I've not seen him play live. I've heard about him. When he came to Bombay in 1966, I was too young to go for the matches. But I've heard so much about him. And from all his fellow cricketers, those who played for India against him, maybe in 60s and 70s, that they found him to be the greatest.
Sir, would it be fair to say that the West Indian cricket's dominance in world cricket started with Gary Sobers?
Absolutely. He was the one who scored 365 against Pakistan, and that was the world record then. And it stood many years. But Sobers, I think, created a lot of records whenever he played. And if you see his records in all the countries, in all conditions, have been exemplary indeed.
Okay. Would you say any cricketer in the present era or someone who can come close to Gary Sobers or who has emulated Gary Sobers' style? He was a flamboyant player. Would you say any player that you can recall, sir? Anyone who can come close to Gary
It's very
Sobers?
difficult. No, it's very difficult to compare
Eras, different eras.
the cricketers, and I think, and he played, I think, in 60s and 70s. So we have not seen him play, to be honest with you. But whatever the records and whatever we have heard, I think from his friends, and fellow cricketers, those who played against him and with him, they always rate him very highly.
The thing is that I don't think any other, certainly not Indian Test cricketer, has been associated so closely with him because he's a bit senior to me. When I first started playing for the All India universities against the West Indies, then I scored one of my fastest centuries against him, and he was the first to come and shake my hand when I got my 100 at Chepauk against Wes Hall, Charlie Griffith, and Sobers and Gibbs. But it was Sobers who got me out eventually. But
Yeah.
he and I had a very close relationship. We played, he and I were both signed or invited by Lancashire. I was invited by four counties, by Worcestershire, Somerset, Hampshire, and Lancashire. But I chose to play for Lancashire because myself and Gary Sobers were invited there. But Gary and Lancashire couldn't agree to terms. You know, Unfortunately, he wanted Lancashire to pay up his betting debts, and Lancashire refused, so he went to Nottinghamshire. But we still maintained a very close relationship. We played for the World 11 together. When I was selected for the World 11, with selectors like Sir Don Bradman, Sir
So
Len Hutton,
you
Sir Frank
played with
Warren.
him in the World 11.
Of course, very much so.
Yes.
In all
Mm.
the World 11s, I was the number one wicketkeeper batsman.
Yes, sir.
And I was the only one from India to start with. And when he played in England and when he went to Australia, Sunil Gavaskar and Bishan Bedi joined me. And when we went to Pakistan, I was the only one. This was like many years ago, before all this, garba with Pakistan was going on and all that. But we had a very close relationship because I, I've taken so many catches of his bowling, so many stumpings of his spin bowling, and so many catches together, literally 2 or 3 feet from each other, as he fielded in leg slip. And he was the best in everything. He could catch better than anyone. He could bowl quick. He could swing the ball better than anyone. And of course, he could bat. I wouldn't say better than anyone, but there have been a few great players in the West Indies like Rohan Kanai and, Graham Pollock from South Africa, Barry Richards, Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar. So, I mean, there have been a few great batsmen that we have produced, but certainly none like Gary and Gary's determination. Because when he scored that big double century in Melbourne, I was the non-striker for quite a while. And all I could say was, great shot, Sobi. Keep it up, Sobi. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it was absolutely fantastic playing with him and enjoying his company on and off the field. He loved a good party, and so did I. So I mean, we went to a few good parties together. We brought in quite a few Christmases together, and all in all, he was a good friend, and he'll be very, very sadly missed, not only by the cricketing world, but by everyone who knew him, because he was the greatest, most complete cricketer the world has produced, or I have seen or played against.
Okay. Now, what impact did he have on world international cricket? Because West Indies started dominating world cricket since 60s, and Gary Sovers was the man who started it all.
Yes, well, Gary Sobers had two of the fastest bowlers in the world in Wes Hall and Charlie Griffith. And he came like, the third pace bowler. They all bowled around 90 to 100 miles per hour. Nobody
Yeah.
bowls that pace these days. But if
Mm.
anyone bowls 100K, they get excited these days. There were no speed machines. But I know what speed they bowled then and what speed our bowlers bowl now. So I mean, these guys were well nearing the 100 miles per hour mark and swinging the ball both ways. And that was Wes Hall, who was very close to Gary Sobers, and I'm sure he must be the most. I spoke to Wes Hall a little while ago. I spoke to, Mrs. Sobers, and the mood is very somber in Barbados because he was a great human being. He was an ambassador for the Barbados government, a great golfer. I've played many, many times golf with him. A lovely story about me and Sunil Gavaskar playing golf in Australia. And Sunil kept on topping the ball, kept on hitting it on the ground. And he tapped Sunny on his shoulder and said, Sunny, this is one game where you are allowed to hit the ball in the air. He said, no. So, I mean, we have several humorous moments, some that I can tell, some that I can't. But we had some great times together, and the world will miss the greatest. I would say he was the greatest, most complete living cricketer of all time that I played with or against.
Okay, one final question. I won't take much of your time. You played
Oh, no,
against
you're
him,
right.
you played with him, and also you
I
know
played
the
with him, I
legacy.
played against him.
Yeah. So, no, I was asking you, you played against him, you played with him in the same team, and you remember him off and on the field. As you said, he was probably the greatest cricketer on and off the field, and the impact of which. Now, he
Most
is
complete cricketer.
most complete cricketer, as you said. And
He, he, he was one of the greatest fast bowlers of all time because he swung the ball at that speed both ways. He was a great spin bowler. He bowled Chinaman, left-handed Chinaman, which was very rare in those days. And he spun the ball a hell of a lot. So I had a lot of leg side stumpings of his bowling. And then again, he was a great slip fielder, especially in leg slip, where he held some marvelous catches. So he and I had a very good combination of where to stand, where to place him on leg slip, and all that, you know. And certainly, keep on repeating that he was the most complete living cricketer of all time until this sad day. The whole cricketing world will
yeah,
mourn a genius.